And also new tonight, we have another Olympic story for you. When it comes to the Winter Games, how many of you at home like to watch bobsledding? Well, if you were watching in the 90s or the early 2000s, you might have seen our next guest. Dave Juehring grew up in Davenport, and for a 12-year period, he was involved with U.S. bobsledding and skeleton as an athlete, team lead, and a coach. And we are so honored to have Dave joining us right now in the current. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for the opportunity.
I have been looking forward to this conversation all week long. How did you get involved with bobsledding? Did you grow up doing this?
No. Actually, in the U.S., we all come from a track and field or a weightlifting background. Well, I went to Iowa State on a track scholarship, and my teammate was actually a javelin thrower. He was from Canada. He tried out for their squad, told me about it, so when I got out of track and field, I actually, pre-internet, went down to the Davenport library, looked it up in a book, found the Federation Bobsled, wrote to them, they wrote back, and I headed up to Lake Placid, and the rest is history.
And what about your set of skills as an athlete do you think works perfectly for bobsled?
I was more of a throwing background. I did have some good sprint skills, but a lot of the talented athletes that we've had through the years on the sleds, they predominantly came from more of a sprinting background. So us big guys that were nice and big and explosive, we did well, but not as well as many of the sprinters that we have on our squads.
Well, what do you love about bobsledding when you're on the track?
Well, you could talk about the adrenaline rush of going down the track, which is quite exciting. Sleds will go upwards of 90 miles per hour on a four-man. You'll pull anywhere from 4 to 5 Gs in a corner. But there's nothing more exciting than being a crew, taking that sled, pushing as hard as you can, hopping in the sled, and then going down and hoping your driver's doing the right thing on the way down.
What does it sound like when you're all in the sled? And can you even see anything, or is it
Well,
just...
no, because actually, let's take an example of a four-man.
Okay.
We all have to have our heads down and our heads on our backs so we're more aerodynamics. So you need to memorize that course. You need to know where you are in that course. It's all blind. Don't worry, you get it figured out. But the driver's really the only one that's looking up the whole time.
So you're just listening?
You're listening. You need to know where you are in the track so you're not caught off guard, because if you just bobble a little bit, that might cause a little small skid in a corner or in a straight, and that could be the difference between a gold medal or 5th or 6th place.
Oh my gosh, and what does it sound like when you're pushing, 4 or 5 Gs?
Well, oddly enough, you don't remember the sound because your adrenaline's going, it's so excessive, not only from the excitement of it, but you're willing your driver to get down that runway as best possible. So
were you always kind of in the back of the sled?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I was always in the back. I was in the back of the sled. Mm-hmm.
Wow. And when you were on the national team, we should say there's a difference between the U.S. national bobsled team and the U.S. Olympic team.
Correct.
You're on the national team.
Yes.
How do you then get involved with the Olympic side of things?
Well, so I was on the national team. I'll make this very clear. I was never good enough to make the Olympic team. But I was on the national squad because I came from a bobsled background, strength and conditioning background. And I was also involved in a pre-Olympic sport called skeleton. So I did that sport also at a national level. And I was able to pick up how to read ice, look in a corner, where's the speed, where's the best place you need to be. So those two skills of my strength and conditioning background and the ability to read ice, they said, hey, we have an opening, we think you'd be a good fit, and that basically started me down the process.
And then you joined the Olympic team as a team lead and as a coach.
And Lillehammer was my first games. I was actually there as more of an assistant driving coach and assistant strength coach. But in 98 and 202, I was promoted to be the team leader. And that's where you're basically responsible for the whole team.
And it's not just the men's team. You were helping coach men and women.
Yeah, 2002 was the first time women's bobsled was involved at the Olympics. So I had the tremendous honor to be the team leader for both programs.
And how did that Olympic end for the women?
Oh, that was fantastic. The first Olympics, we won gold by Jill Bakken and Vanetta Flowers. So it's very exciting.
So I have kind of a silly question for you, but my fiance started coaching soccer a couple of years ago, and he does a co-ed team. And the first day he came home from coaching, he goes, and these are 10-year-olds, but he was like, the girls just listen so much better than the boys, and you're coaching athletes at their highest level. But
Right.
what's some of the differences between the men and the women?
It's no different.
It's no different.
You know, you have to, whether you're whatever team that may be, you have to get to know your athletes. You have to know how to help them be motivated, calm them down, know when to nudge them. All of those aspects that come with parenting or coaching, period. But each driver, each athlete, they kind of have their own, what does it take for them to be? We have some drivers where you just say, hey, how'd that feel? Well, that felt really good. Okay, do that again. And some drivers, you get in the corner and say, I really need you to pull runner a little higher so we're getting pressure a little sooner so you can come. Yeah, it's totally different styles, and that's what you run into with your drivers and your push athletes.
Oh, I love it. Dave, we could talk all day long.
Yes.
So we're going to keep this going. We're not done with Dave just yet. Stick around for our second half hour when our Olympic conversation continues.